Hey guys, how we doing and how we feeling today? Okay, so on this episode, which is the season 4 finale, we're gonna talk about and review Tate McRae's second studio album titled Think Later. Now, in case you don't know who Tate McRae is, she's best known for hits like You Broke Me First, which has over 1 billion streams on Spotify, and her Billboard Top 10 hit, Greedy. Now, leading up to the album release, we had 3 singles: Greedy, Excess, and Run for the Hills, and this last single was pushed as a single on the album release day. Now, onto the album itself. The album is 38 minutes and 22 seconds long, so it's your standard listening session runtime. Now, starting with the first track, Cut My Hair, the first of my highlights on the album. This is a strong opening track, and in this song, Tate talks about wanting to let loose and have some fun. By doing something like cutting her hair, she leaves her melancholic self behind to become a more confident, fiery person. She misses her ex and wants to get back together with him, aiming to impress him and make him want to dump his current girlfriend for her. Now, I find this song quite interesting, lyrically speaking, because we all go through this. I mean, this thing about cutting your hair actually has a lot of meaning, as many of us would know, because you're kind of like ending a cycle, ending a chapter, and opening a new one. But it goes deeper than that. As I said, by doing something like cutting your hair, you're like being daring. You're changing things up, switching it up. And in case of the romantic side of things, as I said, this always gives you a confidence boost. You feel good afterwards. And in the case of this song, you can also do it to impress someone. It can be someone that's already taken, as is the case with the song, and you want them to leave that person for you. And also, as in the case of the song, it can be someone you were already with. It can be an ex. So you want to get back together with that ex, but first you have to leave a good impression on them. Now, moving on to track number 2, Greedy, another one of my highlights. This is the lead single. This is easily the most radio-friendly track on the album. The production here is pretty memorable. And as I already mentioned, as of this date, which is the 21st of December of 2023, this song has peaked at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100. And in this song, Tate talks about the greed that comes with guys that try to win her over with their charm. She confesses that she would even do that with herself too, but makes it clear to the guys that it takes a lot for her to open up to new people. So getting her attention won't come any easy. And I mean, this song is quite phenomenal. Went pretty viral, on TikTok and whatnot. But I mean, the lyrics here are pretty interesting as well. Aside from the production, as I already mentioned, because, this happens to a lot of us, when we're approached by someone or people, when we're approached by people, there are people who think they're gonna win you over so easily. They think they have it in them to just wow you and just sweep you off your feet. But you have to let them know that you're not an easy pick. You're not gonna just fall for anything. They have to really go the long distance, really go the mile, to win you over. Now, moving on to track number 3, Run for the Hills, another one of my highlights. This is the third single, and it makes sense why it was pushed as a single, because the as with Greedy, the production is also quite memorable. It makes it sound really catchy, and it has the complete recipe for a radio hit. So this song is about being in a toxic relationship. Deep down, you should run for the hills, but this person has a way of making you feel good that you instead choose to overlook the toxicity in the relationship. You've developed an obsession with this person, which explains why you crave so much attention from them, and you don't want to end the relationship. And okay, so this song can be pretty relatable to a lot of people, because toxic relationships unfortunately are quite common. So if we're talking about a romantic relationship, there are times when you can be with someone who is quite toxic for you. It's not any good for you, and that you should run for the hills, as the song suggests. You have to choose your own path, go down the path of a good level of well-being. But it can happen, as is the case with the song, that you have already developed an obsession with this person, an unhealthy obsession, obviously, that it's like you don't mind them being toxic with you, treating you like shit. So you just are tempted to still be in this relationship, even though it doesn't serve you any good anymore. Now, track number 4, Hurt My Feelings. This song is not as strong as the first 3 tracks. The first 3 tracks make up a good 3 track run. There we go. But this song is still quite solid. Anyways, the song is about pursuing someone who's already in a relationship. You wish to be with this person so bad that you choose to think that this person is thinking of you when they're with their partner. You go as far as making yourself think that this person will dump their partner for you. You're clinging to this possibility so much that you don't care if this person ends up hurting your feelings, as long as they're in your life. And yeah, this song is also pretty relatable to a lot of us, because it can happen that to anyone, really, that you're single and you want to be with someone who quite happens to be already taken, but you overlook that and you're still pursuing that person. So you feel so attracted to this person that you think that when they're with their partner, their lover, they're actually thinking of you. You may be delusional, or you may be onto something, but the fact is that you're thinking these things, and you even think that they're gonna leave that person for you. So all you want is to be with this person, no matter what it takes, even though it's something that it's not really a good thing to do, but it's quite a selfish thing to do, obviously. And even you don't even care if later down the line you end up with this person and they hurt your feelings. You don't care about that. You just want to be with this person no matter what. Now, moving on to track number 5, Grave. Tate keeps the momentum going with this track, and this song is about realizing that trying to change a person in order to fix a relationship doesn't always work. The person you're in a relationship with can go down such a destructive path that if you stick by them, can take you down with them. How badly you want to be wanted can't measure up to how you could make this person want you, nor could you change them like you thought you could. You were trying to make the relationship something that it never was to begin with. So again, the relatability factor here. So yeah, I mean, there are relationships where you're with someone in a relationship, and that person is quite self-destructive. You think that at any given moment they're going to collapse, and you know that if you stick by them, you're going to go down with them. But how much you want to be wanted doesn't compare to how you can make this person want you. So you're really trying to make the relationship something that it's not, that it never was. And yeah. Now, track number 6, Stay Done, another one of my highlights. Tate slows things down with this track. Her vocal performance here is quite impressive. The instrumentation, specifically the guitars here, are delightful. And this is a song about knowing that you should break up with someone because the relationship isn't doing you any good anymore. But you still love this person. You're still capable of seeing the bright side to the situation because the love you have for this person is far too deep. And yeah, I mean, we already talked about a song that is quite similar to the message of the song, the story of the song. You're with someone who isn't good for you anymore. You're aware of that. You know you should end things off with that person, but you still love them. So you can see the good parts that may still be there in the relationship because the love you have for this person just trumps everything else. Now, track number 7, Exes, another one of my highlights. This is the second single. Tate picks things back up with this track. This is the strongest track on the album. The song is quite catchy and upbeat. And this song also sounds like a pop girl anthem, your go-to pop girl anthem. And this song has the potential of becoming one of Tate's signature hits down the line, as is the case with You Broke Me First and Greedy. And this song is about not only being okay with knowing that your exes don't care about you, but embracing the fact. You're so sure of yourself that you even think that your future exes won't be able to live without you. When you break up with someone, that person swears they'll never call you again, which ends up being a lie. You're very unpredictable and a wild card, but you're too proud of who you are that you don't care if that gives people you date trouble. You're also unapologetic about how badly you treated your exes, which you justify with your young age. And I mean, yeah, for people who have exes, this can be pretty relatable because, if you love yourself enough and you have such good level of confidence, and you're sure about yourself, you're damn sure about yourself, then you know that even if you know that your exes don't give a shit about you, you're still that bitch. You don't have to worry about what they think of you, even if they think of you at all. So, and even if you were shitty to them when you were in that relationship, you you just shrug it off, because I mean, as is the case in this song, if you're at a certain young age, you're like, okay, well, I'm this young, so I'm free to make mistakes, as is everyone. But especially when you're younger, you're still learning things, and well, you're always learning things, obviously, but the younger you are, obviously, the less you know. So you're gonna fuck up, and it depends on it's entirely up to you how you take it. Now, moving on to track number 8, We're Not Alike, another one of my highlights. Tate's vocal performance here is excellent, and in this song, Tate talks about a girl who she thought was her best friend, when in reality she was backstabbing her the whole time. This so-called best friend of hers wondered why she and Tate weren't alike, to which Tate gives more than enough reasons why that is. This girl claimed to be a girl's girl. She would tell Tate that she looked good together with some guy, when the harsh truth was that she wanted him all to herself, and completely disregarded Tate's feelings. And boy, is this a relatable song, because we can all have someone who we call our best friend, or it doesn't have to be your best friend. It can be just another one of your friends, and you think they're all that, that they're good to you, and then you discover that everything was a lie. They were talking shit about you when you were not there to defend yourself, to speak up for yourself. They were backstabbing you the whole time. And yeah, I mean, sadly, there are people who disguise themselves as your best friend or as your friend, and they don't have good intentions at all. They just like to screw over people. They don't care if feelings get hurt. They're just, going around playing a part and, wasting your time, creating false memories with you. So yeah, it's a pretty sad thing to think about, honestly. But yeah, it happens to the best of us. Now, track number 9, Calgary. Tate slows things down once again. The instrumentation here gives this song a laid back feel and sound. Tate's vocal performance remains consistent with the previous track. Calgary is Tate's hometown, and this song is about doubting your future, wondering if you'll ever get your life where you want it to be. You're afraid that you won't be able to get your life together, going as far as to consider taking pills to achieve it. You thought you were getting better, but the truth of the matter was that you were only getting better at pretending. However, you find some hope and think that you will manage to get your life together. At the end of the day, you feel younger than your age. And yeah, this song is also quite relatable, because we all have doubts about our future. I sure do. We all do, as I say. You can worry about, thinking that your life is not where you want it to be, or where it's supposed to be according to you. You even consider getting all the help you can get to that part. But you have to have faith that things will work out, things will align themselves. The universe will send out, signs to you. So, and you can even feel younger than your age. It happens to me, it happens to everyone, I'm sure. So yeah, I mean, you just have to have hope and faith that your future is not something that you should have to stress about too much. Now, track number 10, Messier, another one of my highlights. Tate picks things back up again with this track. The production bounces off Tate's vocals quite nicely. And in this song, Tate talks about a toxic relationship, one where she and the guy love each other so deeply that they know exactly how to get under each other's skin. She knows she should end the relationship for her own sake, but she can't seem to break this vicious cycle. And yeah, I mean, another song about a toxic relationship, pretty relatable. Um, you know, when the two people just know how to mess with each other and their mental health, and neither one of them seems to want to end the relationship. It's just a vicious cycle, as I said. So there has to be a moment to come when one of them ends things off, because it's like fighting fire with fire. It's not gonna end well. Never. It's never gonna end well. Now, track number 11, Think Later, the title track. This is the weakest sounding track on the album thus far, but not a bad song by any means. The lyrics are the most interesting aspect of the song, for sure. And in this song, Tate talks about living in the moment and worrying about the implications later. She goes out with the guy who she knows is a heartbreaker, but she wants him so badly that she disregards his fact. She just wants to have a fun night and not stress about anything, something she does so well. And yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good title track, Think Later. This message about, not worrying about things, not thinking things through, but for the sake of living in the moment, something we all should do. We can overthink things, but if we just, get carried away or, just, live life. But living life as in, think less and act more. Now, track number 12, Guilty Conscience. This track is a slight improvement upon the previous track. And in this song, Tate talks about being reckless and daring with a guy. Also, he gives her the attention and love she so craves. She doesn't care if what she's doing is illegal or even criminal, so long as she gets this guy's approval. And yeah, this song is also pretty relatable because we all go through this. We want to impress someone else so badly, someone we like so badly, that we don't care what we do. You don't care what you do as long as you get their attention, you get them to like you back. That's all that matters to you. Now, track number 13, Want That Too, another one of my highlights. Tate slows things down one last time. This is a heartfelt ballad, and in this song, Tate opens up about her terrible experiences being a teenager in the music industry. Her kindness and naivety would get taken for weakness, which would lead to her getting used and betrayed. And I mean, yeah, unfortunately, this is something that a lot of young girls go through in the music industry. As much as I love the music industry and talking about it and whatnot, it is a dark side that industry has. And sadly, as I'm saying, a lot of young girls, up and coming girls that are younger, they go through this. Actually, Rye, I think that's how you say her name. Rye has a song on her latest album. I think it's called Ice Cream Man, she talks about something like this. Well, that song is quite heavier because she talks about, being abused by someone in the music industry. But in the case of the song, it's still a pretty heavy topic because, it doesn't have to be abuse necessarily. I mean, there are several types of terrible experiences to be had in this industry. But yeah, I mean, sadly, and this applies in general, kindness gets mistaken often for weakness. So that can give people power to just walk all over you, betray you, use you, just leave you feeling pretty badly. And the final track on the album, Plastic Palm Trees, and the last of my highlights on the album, this is a strong closing track. This is a slow, introspective track, and in this song, Tate reflects on her rise to fame and how it's not what she thought it would be like. The plastic palm trees in question refer to LA. There are palm trees that Tate thinks are fake, which is ironically how she views the city, as an artificial place. As she takes a good look at her feelings with fame, she realizes that it's quite underwhelming and lonely. And yeah, I mean, this song is pretty interesting because it really opens your eyes to what a fame can actually be like. I know more and more with time, we get more stories from celebrities who talk specifically about this. How when they reach certain level of fame and success, they realize that it's not all about that. It's not what it's all thought to be. And the important thing here is that these celebrities, they realize what it's actually like and how much value they give it, how they take it. And yeah, that was the album. And overall, this album is very consistent in quality. This album has both a strong start and a strong finish, and Tate capitalized on the massive success of Greedy, crafting an album that matches that level of pop greatness. Now, when comparing this album to Tate's discography, do I consider this album to be her best body of work to date? Yes. Now, going briefly over her discography, we have her first EP, All the Things I Never Said, which was a solid debut EP. Then her second EP, Too Young to Be Sad, a step up from the debut EP. Then her debut album, I Used to Think I Could Fly. And in this debut album, she kept the momentum going, building upon her first two EPs and finding her footing. Which brings us to this album, Think Later. Now, what score do I give Think Later by Tate McRae? I give it a very generous 4.5 out of 5 stars. And yeah, guys, that was my review for Think Later. Before I go, make sure to follow Pop and Bop on social media. It's at Pop and Bop on Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, TikTok, and Threads, and Pop and Bop on Facebook and YouTube. So yeah, guys, this has been Pop and Bop. I'm Emilio Fernandez. Thank you so much for listening to this season, and look forward to next season, season 5, in January of 2024, next month. Catch you next time.